Good morning. It is 10:30 a.m. on Friday the 4th of December 2020 in a year that has felt like decades but is finally coming to an end. My name is Arran Hunt. I'm a partner here at Stace Hammond and I head up the Migration Partners team. Now, as always, this is merely commentary about immigration here in New Zealand and what's going on. It is not legal advice. Don't take it as being legal advice. If you want legal advice, please give us a phone call, give us an email, come in and see us. We need to know more about what you're up to sort of give you that advice and sort of tailor it to your situation. Now today's video is a shorter piece as there hasn't been much going on in the past week. We're still seeing some strange decisions coming through from Immigration New Zealand. Now of course we've raised this with people in Parliament. I spoke with one of the MPs last night. We are aware that one of the law societies is meeting with Immigration on Monday and we provided with that law society with a bunch of questions we have and the problems of what we're seeing. And we're hopefully that some clarity can come from this, or maybe some sanity will come out of these discussions and these inquiries with Immigration. Now, yesterday Immigration did provide a booklet for employers in the hospitality sector. We'll provide a link to that in the description below. We've been through it and it doesn't provide much new information for those looking to apply for future work visas. Just to be clear, this is of course for those who are onshore. The offshore applications are still blocked until at least February 2021, at which point they'll be reviewed as whether that needs to be extended further. The brochure does not mention the increase in the median wage requirements that we typically expect to happen in November, and of course that's now finished. So it isn't clear whether they've been postponed or cancelled due to how the market is. We'd be surprised if it was cancelled, especially due to rumours we are hearing from various contacts. We won't elaborate those on presently, but those rumours would suggest that they want to try and make work visas harder. But we'll wait till we've got more solid information before we sort of give you what we're hearing. Right now they really are just whispers here and there. Now, as mentioned a few weeks ago, there is an oversupply and undersupply list being introduced for work visas. Now, for roles on the oversupply list, that basically means that Immigration New Zealand will not grant visas to people applying for visas in that role if the pay is below the $25.50 per hour. For undersupply, it's an acknowledgement that the role is in demand, so it removes the need to show that there is no one available, but again, that only applies for those roles under $25.50 per hour. The oversupply list is not region-based, so that's a list that actually applies nationwide. The undersupply list is region-based, so that can sort of just be certain areas. Now, the exclusion here is Queenstown. Now, those things on the oversupply list for Queenstown, ignore them. Queenstown basically is in a shortage, or a severe staff shortage, so a lot of those roles in the oversupply list, such as cook, are actually in undersupply in Queenstown. Remember though that at least for the next year, roles under $25.50 per hour only allow a 6-month visa. Your maximum of 3 years, so you can get 6 of those, but you're only getting a 6-month visa. That is in place until I think January 2022, at which point they're going to review that. But right now, those what they're calling those sort of lower skilled, lower paid jobs under that $25.50 median wage are only getting 6-month work visas, so if that's you, you'll be applying for a new work visa almost continuously. It's a good time to mention actually now the work visa changes that were announced over a year ago, but they've already have started to appear. We're seeing a lot of correspondence and messages about these on the online forums, and we thought it would give some clarity that these are not sort of new announcements. They have been around for a while. So far we have seen some of those changes come into place. That would be the Ansco scaling on visa length. It used to be that you had the different skill levels, different jobs, and that depending on that was how long your visa was going to be. That of course is being changed. Now it's dependent on their hourly rate. $25.50 or above 3-year visa, below that 6-month visa for now. Now that does not mean that Ansco is completely gone. Ansco still has an important role here, as much as I dislike Ansco. It is still used in 2 parts of the visa application process. First thing, it is when they look at the availability of New Zealand staff. They'll be looking at what that role is, and they'll go, okay, who can do that role and what does the role work out as, but also looking at whether the applicant is sufficiently trained. So if you're applying for a certain job, if that's the Ansco that is substantially matched, that's the definition they use, the substantial match, then they'll look at what the requirements are for that role. So for example, for a chef, it's going to require qualification of a certain level or 3 years of experience working as a chef to say that yes, you are a chef as per Ansco. So that's how Ansco is still involved. So Ansco still is important, and it still appears on the main application and on the INZ 1113 form which the employer fills out. Now, a few things that are coming through in the future is the work to residence through an accredited employer is being removed sometime in 2021. Most likely around the middle of the year. I think July was the time they originally sort of announced it. They did announce, because they've already done the increase, the pay requirement from 55,000 to 80,000, which is 1.5 times the median salary. So that's already taken place to sort of try and limit those work to residence applications. Now at the same time, we are going to be seeing a new residence visa that can be applied for those who are earning twice the median salary, which is currently about $106,080 per year, but will increase if that November increase comes through. So what we'll have is that the middle of next year, we're guessing around July, but it could fluctuate, is that the work to residence visa applications that or first ones that have already been made will keep going through on the current rules. If you applied already, you've got a work to residence visa, don't worry about the changes, they will not impact you. New applications will be prevented from a certain point, probably about July, at which point there will be this new visa, residence visa type. So it's going to raise the difficulty in getting that, because you're going to go from 1.5 times the median salary to twice the median salary, but that is the process they're taking. The reason for this, of course, is that from next year, sometime in the middle of the year, all employers will require accreditation. There will be different levels of accreditation, so there will still be some perks to being the high level of accredited, that the people who have it now have this sort of, very high level threshold to get in there. The other employers will have a lower level of accreditation, but all employers will require accreditation, so they're removing that accredited employer visa. So go to my notes here. So again, this is not happening. Not happening at the start of the 2021. I saw a few comments online that they're like 2021, that's only in a few weeks' time. No, this is happening during the year, not at the start of the year. They will announce how this is going to work in a lot more detail before it takes place, and we'll bring that to you once it happens. The skilled migrant visas, they will be continuing. They will be going forward. They're not planning on removing those. However, as we announced before, we are expecting a policy change in the next, about now or the last few weeks. Hasn't come through yet. We were hoping to have it by now, hoping to have it before now. We are still waiting for that to come through, but that will change the skilled migrant category, but it will still be available next year. Now, the only other news we have here is in regarding to response times to immigration during the Christmas New Year period. Now, Immigration New Zealand staff will generally keep working during that period, with the exception of statutory holidays. So Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day, and the day after New Year's Day, those are holidays. They'll have those days off. The other days, generally, they will still be working, and they get a lot of work done in that period. However, Immigration New Zealand is aware that a number of lawyers and advisors will take extended periods of leave over that period, and will close their offices, so that clients may not be able to get a response from their representatives in that time. So any information request or potentially prejudicial information letter, or a PPI, which was much easier to say, issued on or after 7th of December and before 11th of January 2021 will be given an extra 20 working days to respond. So for example, a PPI letter that's dated the 9th of December, so after that 7th of December threshold, will have a response date of 12th of January 2021. So you've got more than a month there to respond. Now even then, 12th of January may be too early for some firms who may be closed, say, until the 18th, which is the following Monday. So if you get a request before your representatives go on holiday, so say you got that 9th of December request or PPI letter, make sure your representative is ready to respond, and it's going to be available to respond on the 12th of January, or they respond before they go on leave. Don't let them leave it, and then you'll find you get caught with, they forget it, they don't check their emails, and there's no response sent. So make sure they're on top of that. Now, we, like Immigration New Zealand, will be available and working through the holidays, as immigration does not stop, so make sure that we are available to you. I will be checking my emails, I'll be checking my correspondence and answering phone calls. So apart from those statutory holidays, we'll be able to assist you with any matters that arise during that period. And that is all we have for today. It has been a quiet week, busy week, but a quiet week for immigration news. I'll be back next week with anything that comes through, trying to do these at least weekly. And we do have a special video planned for the December 19th, and with a special guest in that video, which will be a Saturday rather than usual Friday videos. Now, as always, please like this video if you found it of use. Subscribe if you want to be notified of future changes. Now, some of you will know that we do support sort of reunifying partners during this period, and believe that a lot more could be done to do that. We've raised it with Immigration New Zealand and with MPs a number of times. As I said, I spoke to an MP yesterday actually about this. Now, however, some of you may feel isolated at this time, by this, especially at this time of year, during the holiday periods that may occur in your region or your part of the world. There is some great forums out there where you can speak to others in your situation, and there are some good advisors on there, and of course I'm on there as well, helping where I can. I've linked to one of the groups in this description. It's a group that I do frequent a lot. I think it's one of the better groups out there to discuss the sort of the partnership situation. And they've put together a video. They've given permission for us to post their video at the end of our video, and it features a few of the people in this group, some of whom I've had the pleasure of meeting personally, and I hope that it sort of gives a human face and voice to what so many of you have been going through. So from me, it's kia kaha. Stay safe, stay strong, stay kind, and stay in love. And now over to them.
We first moved here together in February 2019. My wife went to visit her family in Switzerland, but unfortunately her flight was cancelled, so she just missed being back in time.
My partner and I went to the same school. We've known each other for almost 30 years, I'd say. And he was due to travel in May, but then lockdown happened and his visa lapsed.
When I decided to go to New Zealand, he decided to stay in Russia, and he planned to come to New Zealand maybe in 3-4 months. He had the last request from the immigration in early March. 19th of March the borders were closed, so the assessment process stopped.
We wanted to start a new life, start a family, and just settle down. We've then arranged everything, and for all our furniture and our small dog to move across to New Zealand. And then unfortunately the COVID-19 outbreak happened across the globe.
Where we allow movie crew, yachtsmen, fishermen, nothing against them personally, but we don't allow partners and families into the country. So it completely goes against the mindset of an actual New Zealander.
And I've known people who are here for 10, 12 years who are not by legal terms called citizens, but our lives are here. And as far as I'm concerned, we are New Zealanders too.
We do unite against COVID, right? So yeah, we have to unite everyone. If it's unite against COVID, it's unite all the families.
I would just like to tell her to just hold on there and stay strong, and we'll see each other soon.
Я люблю тебя. It was in Russian, meaning I love you, but he knows it.
I have that kind of hope in my heart that yes, my love will be with me very soon, and that's what I keep saying to her, and that hope is what is keeping our love alive.
It's almost like I can't even remember time with her. Yeah, but it's all good. I know she'll be back soon.